You are listening to Single Women and Motherhood on Apex Radio.
What's good, y'all? And now tuned in to Apex Radio.
Hey, what's up? You're listening to Apex Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is Ann-Marie Ricketts at the S.W.I.M Single Women and Motherhood Training Program show. I am here to welcome, to outreach to all the single mothers, to say hello. Hope you're having a great week. And I am the executive director. I am a life coach. I am a motivational speaker. And I'm a mother. I am here with our guest host, April, and I would like her to introduce herself. Welcome, April, to the S.W.I.M show.
Thank you. My name is April Adair, and I am a single mother. I've been a single mother since 1993, when my daughter was 4 months old. I have 3 children. My children did have a stepfather for a short period of time. We were married in 2000, and unfortunately he passed away the beginning of 2003, which, as a single parent with teenage boys, brought on a whole other set of single parent issues. I then ended up with a daughter who became a single teen mom, and she stayed in my home for the first 14 months of my grandson's life, and I was her support system.
Wow. And that's what we're talking about, making sure there's a support system in place for each and every one, even if you're not a single mom. Even today, in today's day, just having a partner, it is very challenging being a mom, especially with teenagers in the midst of everything. I know what you're talking about because I've been there myself. So, but the nice part about it is at the end of the day, you know, when you become friends and buddies, you know, it's all worth it, right?
It's amazing. Now I have an amazing friendship with all of my children now that they're growing, and
right there
it's
you
great.
go. And wait till they become parents. You're even going to have a better relationship because they're going to go, oh my gosh, this is what my mom went through.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, we can't turn back the hands of time.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's part of our journey. I'm telling you, being in today's society and today's world, it's such a difference with the children today from back in the days, right? It's like these kids are born with the computers in their hand, and the knowledge that they have is like, you're 2 years old. What are you talking about? Right? It's just amazing to hear how much they've grown, you know?
It's so much different than when my children were little. I have grandchildren. My oldest grandchild is 7, and he has computer knowledge and cell phone knowledge and just technology that my children didn't have, that I never even dreamed of. We didn't even have
those
computer.
Things didn't exist. Exactly. So now the babies are teaching the adults. That's what's going on.
Yes.
You know, even my 2-year-old, it's like she knows how to turn on the computer, turn on my phone, and she's trying to crack my password. I know that's what she's trying to do, and then she looks at me and smile like, oh, I still haven't figured it out. So I gotta be covering my password, you know, when I'm punching it in, because you can't trust these kids.
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, these kids are just so beautiful. I just love them because you know what? As soon as you spin around, they're all growing up. And those moments are very rare. And once that day is gone, you can't get it back. So how do we just embrace those days by just relaxing and being able to slow down and just enjoy the moment? I know so many of us out there, we don't even know what that means. We claim that there's no time in the day, but you have 24 hours, I have 24 hours. We have to make that time. We got to nourish and follow through and make sure those times do exist, because it's our moment, it's our time, and once it goes, we won't get it back. So
No.
I had some friends, oh my gosh, a long time friend, over 30 years, came to, visit me and spend some time with me on the weekend with her family. And we had a ball. And I'm so grateful for those moments. And in the midst, I can't remember what I had to do. Oh, Sunday, I was helping to prepare supper. And I realized I had something to do, and I just jumped up and I started rushing around and rushing everybody around me. And she said, slow down. It's going to get done. And it's like, really? My husband just told me that last night. So this is confirmation. Another person is telling me to slow down. That means I'm moving extremely fast and not realize how fast I'm moving, that I'm not even enjoying preparing what I was preparing. Because in my head, it's just a chore. And we've been so busy and so caught up that these are the things that we have to do. We have to take note and recognize when we need to slow down. Right?
Yes.
I'm sure you're rushing through life too.
Oh, always. I'm always trying to, fill something. But part of the problem is that I have friends of varying ages. I have younger friends who have small children, and I go over there and I watch them run around and fill their children's days and fill their days. And some days they're like, oh my goodness, I can't wait for them to go to school, or I can't wait for this. And I look at them and think, no, someday you'll be like me and the house will be empty. And you think,
yeah,
oh man. Because I thought the same thing, when I was struggling as a single mom and I had these kids and I had teenagers, and I thought, oh, someday you'll be out of the house and it'll be quiet. And now they're out of the house, and I think, there's some days I would cherish them to all move back in and just go through some of it again, because there's things that I'm sure that I miss. I miss the hustle and bustle. I miss enjoying soccer games. I miss just, dinner around the table and filling it with their stories of their day. They're just simple things that you think, oh, you're not gonna miss. You'll miss that, but you won't miss the hectic. But sometimes you do miss that after a while. Yeah. So it's even little things that you end up, missing.
You hear that, mothers? Take your time.
Enjoy them.
Even when you want to hug them extremely little bit extra tight because they're getting on your nerve. But ignore them and hug them with love. Because as soon as you blink, these kids are off to college, university, having their own children, having their own life. And I experienced the empty syndrome. You know what? The empty nest syndrome. Yes. I went through that when my last daughter moved out. I think I've shared with you guys that this young one that's hanging around my feet lately is, a beautiful little surprise baby. She has been a big surprise, and every day she surprised me more, because now she's even getting an attitude. And it's like, I love the attitude, She's a little sassy, and it's like, you could see yourself in her. It's like, I love this little girl. Yeah. She's got attitude, Yeah, But we want to curve her to have the right attitude. I remember when my kids, and I used to be in the house alone, and my son used to come by every evening. I think he felt guilty and he didn't want to move in. So he just came, hung out with me for like an hour, and then bring me movies. And, oh, Mom, this one is funny. You're going to enjoy it, and sit and pretend he was watching it with me while he's on the phone. Yeah. And then he said, Mom, I'll be back. And I would never see him again till the next day. It's like, I thought you were coming back yesterday. Oh, yeah, I got caught up. But you know what? I appreciated those moments because it gave me one-on-one quality time with my son. And when the girls came over, it was just me and them. And I remember saying to them, you guys better enjoy me, because I know the time's coming. I'm going to get married, and then y'all ain't going to have me, to do what you want and abuse me like the way you always abuse me. So hurry up and enjoy me, because, that's what it's about. Time is at hand, and we're all getting older, and we're slowing down. It's slow down time, so we can stop. And we hear this over and over, so we're reinforcing it. Stop and smell the roses. We've heard that as kids growing up. We never embraced it. We didn't even understand what it meant because we didn't take time. We thought we have the whole life ahead of us, right? You know, today's not even about dying, but it's also about, you know, getting sick and not having the ability. I see so much young people. I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I haven't talked to him. Actually, he's a colleague, a business acquaintance. And, you know, he said he's been so overwhelmed the last couple of weeks because his nephew suddenly died at the age of 34, 35, he said. And I'm just like holding my breath because that's around, you know, my son's age. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, younger, they're dying younger. We're looking, oh, when you get old and you go in the nursing home, you die. These young people, they don't even know what the cause of it. He just died in his sleep, and suddenly that was it. So time is precious. We need to enjoy every minute of it. We need to just love, embrace, you know, the good and the bad. You know, they say life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. And that's what we have to do. You had a bad day, find the good in it. And, you know, if you can't find the good, pluck the good out. You know, make something good, spin it around, and then just so you can appreciate that day.
Even if it's just once your children are asleep, is just going in and staring at them for how beautiful they are when they're asleep.
Right.
That day, you know, even that is amazing. They're yours. You've created them, and they are precious. And even if the whole day was awful and they weren't well behaved, when they're sound asleep, just think of the good.
And they look so innocent.
They look
you know?
so
It's
innocent
like,
and
oh my
peaceful.
God, I'm looking at my daughter the other night, and I'm thinking, you little rascal.
Yep.
You know?
You are sassy and a handful, but when you're asleep, you're adorable little angel. But sometimes that's what gets you through the night again to start again in the morning.
I'm
It's
telling
something, you know?
So that brings us to our parenting tip. And our parenting tip this week is just about love. I embrace... I think I'm just in love with love these days because, you know, last year in September the 24th coming up is going to be 1 year of my accident. And every day for this month, I think it just dawns on me more and more as September is approaching that, oh my God, I almost wasn't going to be here. And how much I'm so grateful to God for saving my life to be able to see the things I'm seeing today. So maybe that's where I'm bringing this from, about slowing down. I'm learning to slow down. I've been doing 2-3 jobs all my life, and it's just in your blood. You know, you don't know how to do anything else. So sometimes God slows us down
For a reason.
And again, when my accident occurred, I was doing 2 jobs. I was leaving my house in the morning and coming home at night, like 11 o'clock. So from 9 till 11, I'm out of the house. You don't even get to enjoy your home when you're doing 2, 3, 4 jobs. Like I know some of my coworkers, they have 2 full-time jobs, 2 permanent full-time job. And one particular partner of mine, how she raised her kids is on the phone on her break. And I look at that and I said, man, I'm glad I don't have young kids to have to, you know, be telling them on my break, did you do your homework? You know, did you guys have your bath yet? You know, she's missing all of that because of work. And the thing is, work is never going to end.
No.
Never going to end, but our life do end. And I've seen it so often, so many times. You hear, oh, this person just retired last week, and then by this week they had a heart attack, or they just retired, or they had a stroke, or, you know, so.
And they retire, and then you're replaced. But you can never be replaced as your child's mother. So that should be, you know, your work enjoys that you're there and they like your job.
They need you there.
They need you, but then you retire and they replace you. Your children can't replace you no matter what.
Never.
So it's unfortunate that she's gone so much of the time and raising them on the phone because she'll miss so much.
Mm-hmm. You know, so I am commanding and ordering for everyone out there to slow down and smell the rose. Take some time, right? So we're talking about love today. Our parenting tip number 1, recognize the privilege. Just recognize the privilege. Listen to what those words say. Recognize the privilege. It is a privilege that this child is a bundle of joy. How often have we stopped to say that? How often have we even stopped to think it? This child has come through you and arrived in your house. Children are not your property, They do not belong to you, right? Just see how to enjoy nature and support them. Don't try to make them an investment for your future. And I think that's what the older generation used to do. I used to hear my mom used to say, oh, kids are the investment. They're the one that's going to look after you when you get old. But not anymore. Not anymore. People are being put into nursing home. This is the way the world's running because everybody's doing 2 jobs. Nobody's at home anymore to do anything. So when we enjoy them, there's no guarantee. And sometimes kids pass away before you. Yeah. So this is why it's so important to stop and enjoy them. Just treat them like you treat your friends. You're not going to disrespect your friends, or your mother or whoever if you're a respectful person. So why do we disrespect or expect different from our kids? We got to treat them with that same love or even more, right?
And there are many, many people out there in the world that aren't given the privilege of having a child.
Exactly. So many don't and wish and pray every day to have, and we have, and we just forget the blessings.
Exactly.
Let them be. Let them become whatever they have to become. Don't try to mold them according to your understanding of life. Your child needs not to do what you did in your life. Your child should do something that you did not even dream or dare to think in your own life. Only then will the world progress. And that is so true because it's just a natural reaction. You wanna put your kids in hockey and you're forcing your kids to do this, and the kids are so unhappy. They don't even want to do half of the running around that they're doing, but because their parents are the one forcing them, they don't have a choice. But how often do we talk to them and dig and see and try to pull out of them, what is your dream? What do you love?
Yeah. You see, Dad was a lawyer and Grandpa was a lawyer.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Or the police officer.
Yeah, my son should go into the same thing. Or, you see it when you watch TV shows, like even such things as America's Got Talent or something. You see them on there and they say, why are you here? I've always dreamt of being a singer. Well, what do? Well, I got a master's in psychology. Did you want that? No, but my dad said that's where the money was. And you see that all the time. They're chasing a dream, but their family wasn't supportive, and it seems like it's something that seems frivolous, but we need to be supportive.
That's it.
We just need to be supportive of what they want to do.
That's the new wave. Learning how to support your child vision and dream. That's a new wave. That's how we have to move forward. Learning how to support your child in their down days. Learning to understand them and bringing them out of that is a key element. Bringing them into it is a key element. Visualize with your kids. Dream with them. Sit down and walk them through. Just imagine the day will come when you can do this and you can do that, and how beautiful it will look when your picture is up there. Help them to dream, because we stop dreaming ourselves. So if we could help them to dream, they will be able to help their children to dream. Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
But we need to just slow down and just continue to let these kids be and become who they're designed to become. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You want to share a tip with me?
Sure. Tip number 3 is give them true love. So people misunderstand that loving their children is to cater to them, to give them whatever they need. If you get them everything they ask for, it is stupidity, isn't it? I think so. When you are loving, you can do just whatever is needed. So I believe in that one wholeheartedly. I think giving them true love it's not just providing them the necessities of life by any means. It's loving them for who they are, what they want to become. But it doesn't mean if they walk up to you and say, Mom, Susie has a new iPhone, I need the new iPhone, that you run out and say, okay, I'll get you that phone, dear, because that's what you need and that's what you want. You raise brats. You raise kids that are spoiled.
Yes,
you raise kids
yes.
that have no respect.
Yeah, exactly.
You raise children that don't understand how hard you are working to be able to afford the new iPhone. And they don't appreciate because they get it. They need to just be loved, and they need to understand. I'm not saying that they can't earn it. You can set up a chore list or something that
Chore
they can do
list.
to help appreciate
I remember
it.
what that word was, chore list. I don't even know if children's are doing chores anymore.
Well, I know that my grandson is 7, and he has a list of things he does to own. He gets a little bit of money every week from my daughter because there's things he wants.
But why is that? Why does she have that in place?
She has it in place to teach him that you need to earn some of the extra things that you want.
But where did she learn that?
Well, she got that. I would like to say she got that 100% from me. She didn't
There
get
you
it
go.
100% from me.
When
she
she
got
was
it,
doing it.
some of it from me. But she's also early childhood education graduate. And so that was sort of reintroduced through then. But it's also, she's learned that it helps him understand that Mom doesn't need to be the one picking up and doing all the chores. They all make a mess. They all can clean up. Everything has a price. Mom doesn't need to be the one that if you want something, she has to, run out and buy it because you want it. You should be able to earn it. They're not big chores. It's a matter of, bringing his dirty laundry down to the main floor. His bedroom's upstairs. If him and his little friends make a mess with his toys, he helps clean up. I find a lot of kids today that are disrespectful to teachers, to other adults, to police authority. It's because they're not getting taught any respect in the home at all. They're just given and given and given.
And that's why I said, where did that come from? She had to have learned that through you. Whether she's a teacher or not, there was a little bit of installing in her through you as a parent. And I remember when we used to have allowance. My kids went through that. They, had to do the dishes. Or I remember one time when my daughter was much younger, and remember those coats that came in called Adidas?
Oh, yes.
And she begged me for that coat. And when I went into the store and saw that one of those coats was over $100, I gave her a choice. You could have this coat for Christmas, birthday, Valentine's, Halloween, all the holidays, if you want that coat that bad, or we can get your Christmas present or a birthday present, but I ain't buying you that coat, and then give you gifts throughout the year.
Yes.
There is no way when there's 3 children.
Yeah.
Right? And she begged me, and I gave her, I broke it down, and she wanted that coat. And that was the only name brand thing I think at the time I ever bought for her. Because I didn't grow them up in name brand, or I didn't think that's how they should be brought up, because that's value in the wrong things. Just this weekend when my longtime friend came by, and, we were looking at some pictures, and my son is saying, oh man, I remember my first Adidas. His stepfather bought him that, and that was $100, and I cursed. What? We're spending all that money on one shoe? So these kids are really, you see a 7-year-old with an iPhone. What are you
crazy.
doing with an iPhone?
It's crazy.
You haven't worked a day in your life, and the iPhone costs $700. So things have taken a different turn the way this generation is, and I've seen parents spend like loads of money on a little baby's shoes, and they only wear it for like maybe a month or two, and then they grow like a weed. It can't fit them. Now it's passed on to somebody else. Prioritizing what's important is so important these days, and
It is.
being able to slow down to do that is the key. So
And it even says here, when you truly love someone, you have to be willing to be unpopular. That was
There
my
you
biggest
go.
thing. I was willing to be unpopular.
Yeah.
I think every mom out there hates when their child gets to that stage to say, I hate you.
oh yeah,
And my daughter, I hear my grandson say that every so often when I'm on the phone with my daughter, and my own children have said it, I hate you. And my daughter always says, well, that's okay because I still love you and I'm still your mom and you don't get another one.
so my kids used to
No.
say, I hate you.
Yeah.
And I used to say, well, welcome to the family. It's a family tradition. I hated my mom. My mom hated her mom hated her
Yeah.
mom, and now you hate me. So welcome to the club.
There you go.
This is how it works.
They all
honey.
do. Yeah. And you have to be willing to be unpopular because I'm not going to run out and buy you what
Just
Susie
because.
and George's moms have to be popular.
Exactly.
You haven't earned it and you're not going to respect me because I've run out and got it for you.
So go. The next one that we wanted to talk about, tip number 4, don't rush them into growing up. It is very important a child remains a child. There's no rush to make him into an adult because you can't reverse it later. And it's so true because a lot of times I see these kids are just growing up too fast.
Yeah.
And they're into conversation that they have no business being in. And I remember when I was growing up, if an adult was talking, we had to leave the room.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We could not be sitting in there and getting into the conversation and, all these things. Like, you need to go play. This is adult conversation, so forth and so forth. Those are some of the things that, make a child grow up too fast, And when he's a child, he behaves like a child. It's wonderful to see those behavior, like children behaving like children. But when they're adults, they behave like a child in an adult body. Right? Saying the things they shouldn't be speaking about, using words they shouldn't be using. So it's unfortunate that some of these kids are growing up, and especially with the internet these days, it is teaching them things it has no business to be teaching them.
It does.
So
The other thing with the internet and iPhones, though, is a lot of parents, it's sad, but some of us end up sitting on our phone a little more often than we should. And even though we think we're just quickly checking Facebook, unfortunately, that 5 minutes can turn into an hour. Or that quick Instagram picture we're looking for can turn into an hour. Mm-hmm. At that moment, you're not interacting with your child. If you have more than one child, your oldest child at that point sometimes is looking after your youngest. That's not
it's
their
true.
job.
Exactly.
And I've seen a lot of parents take their older children and younger children to the park. And a lot of times you'll hear them yell at their older
Oldest
child,
one, yeah.
Can you take the little one to this slide or that slide, or can you watch your brother or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nice to install that they're siblings, and it's nice to install, can you just keep an eye on them? Some responsibility.
It's good.
But you didn't have the older one to raise the younger ones.
Right.
That's your job. You're still the parent. So you need to remember that it's not your oldest one's job to become a parent that early.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school and my mom got remarried. I grew up as an only child, but when she got remarried and decided to have another child, and there came my brother, and she had to work. So unfortunately, I had to leave school early, and I hated my brother for that.
Yeah.
Because there went my, my sports. I used to do all kinds of sport, track and field, basketball, and because I had to go pick him up at a certain time, I had to miss practice. And so sometimes kids do get resentful for that
do.
moment, and that brings that separation and division between them, because it's like, I didn't ask you to be born. Now you're interfering in my life.
My life, yeah.
But there, you got to keep reminding them how much you appreciate their help, and what would I do without you? When you can acknowledge that and praise on that, it makes a difference, because we forget to be grateful for their work and their help. As they say, they're not our children. They were just loaned to us.
Yes.
They were just, given to us to help bring them forth on this earth, right? But yeah, the last one we want to talk about is nature, their natural spirituality. Children are very close to a spiritual possibility, if only they are not meddled with. So what does that mean? Generally, either the parents, teacher, society, television, somebody or the other meddles with them too much, because enforcing things into their mind, like for example, you're a Jehovah's Witness and you bring in them, you're teaching them that. They don't have a choice. You're a Catholic. You're bringing them to church. You're teaching them that. But even though you bring them to church, in my belief, children should have the freedom to share their knowledge of what they've learned, right? Create an atmosphere where this meddling is minimized with your child, and encourage, the kid to grow into his intelligence, rather than into the identity of religion. And I do truly believe that the child will become naturally spiritual without even knowing the word spirituality, because we're all born with that inside, right? And we got to remember that, everyone is a unique person. And they too, but teaching them what is good and what's bad is important, because they too will become nourished in that way, right?
Yes.
So, once again, thank you for tuning in to S.W.I.M Radio Show. Single Women in Motherhood Training Program is located at 296 Horton Street, and that's at the corner of Wellington and Horton. And guess what? We're right above Tim Hortons. Everything just seems to rhyme, on time. So we're talking about London's Got Talent. Oh my gosh. Oh, my daughter keeps saying, oh my gosh. So I'm saying, oh my gosh. You should have been there. The talents that's coming out of the woodworks this year is professionalism. These people, these young generation are amazing. The talents that we saw last night that came out to audition, I said to the guys, I am so happy and grateful I'm not one of the judges, because the judges are going to have a hard time judging this year, because they're amazing. So the next audition date for London's Got Talent is September the 22nd. From 4:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Sprit Theater Covent Garden Market. September the 23rd, 1 to 5 p.m. at the S.W.I.M office. 12 talented performers will be selected to compete and perform in front of a live audience and celebrity judges on October the 20th, 2017 at the Wolf Performance Hall. All other proceeds go to benefit the S.W.I.M and SMART, providing scholarships and support to single moms in the London area. The lucky winner will receive $1,000 cash prize. All ages are welcome to audition. Any style brings yourself, any style, bring yourself and your unique talent. London's Got Talent 2017, Single Women in Motherhood. Plug in and check us out. We were at the OW Employment and Resource Fair yesterday, and I'm telling you, there is so much resources in the community for our young moms and mothers out there that if you need any information, please don't hesitate to contact Lisa Luther for more information at OW. We are here to support you. I am speaking at Mo Monday in Toronto on August the 28th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. at the supermarket at 268 Augusta Avenue, Toronto. And we had our fundraiser car wash on Friday, and it was amazing. Shout out to the London firefighters who joined us. They even brought out the truck and an outfit for us to try on. It was amazing. It was fun. Thank you to all the community that supported us. And here we are, excited and can't wait to plan the next car wash.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was awesome.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was a good time. Please go on our check out our S.W.I.M GoFundMe. We are at www.gofundme.com, singlewomeninmotherhood.com. GoFundMe.com/singlewomeninmotherhood.com. And don't forget to check us out every Sunday, 5 to 6 p.m. and a repeat on Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Find us on Facebook, Apex Radio, by hitting the Use app, and it will take you all to the show. Remember to like, follow, and comment. Check us out, www.singlewomeninmotherhood.com. You can hit us up anytime. Send us a message. We are listening. We want to talk to you. So, what's on your mind today? Anything special you want to share, talk about? Nothing, eh?
Nothing special. I'd just like to thank the guys again from the firefighters for the car wash. It was great. They were super nice guys, super helpful.
Right.
And we had a good turnout. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to thank the people who came from the community. They were really supportive.
Yeah.
It was an awesome turnout.
What, 15 to 20 cars?
I think we did at least 20 cars. We
Yeah.
had about 5 come right at the very end. And I'd like to shout out to Alice, our sweet little lady with the Uber driver
Alice.
and her cat paws at the back. She was sweet. She came out. She supported us with the car wash, and then
Yeah.
she supported us with our bike raffle.
Right.
So shout out to Alice. And I think it went well.
And
So
shout out to Canadian Tire for
Yes.
supplying everything.
Everything,
They
and
supplied the space, the water, the
soap.
soap,
They
the
were
rag.
great.
They were the bucket. They were
Yeah.
so amazing. So
and a
to
couple of them came out to get their vehicles washed too. So they were great.
Canadian Tire right on Horton Street. A big shout out and thank you to all the S.W.I.M volunteers for all their hard work. They are an amazing team. So what's on my mind today is say when now. And then you're going to say,
that's a good one.
Say when now? What does that mean?
That's a good one.
You know, say when now. I've been thinking about the word say when now. Now is the time to say when I go back to school, this is how it's going to look. When I, remove myself from that toxic relationship, this is how my life will be. If we learn to say when now and see what things are going to look like, we are going to say when now, because now is the time for those changes. Now is the time for you to get up and get back and, give back or make some positive change in your life, right? Get out of that, whoa, poor me syndrome, or, I can't do this and I can't do that. I want to share with you. Yesterday, we were scheduled to be at a community event. And first off bat, you get up, you're getting ready, you're organizing the thoughts in your mind, what you have to do. And your baby wakes up and say, I'm not brushing my teeth. I'm not brushing my teeth. What do you mean you're not brushing your teeth? You got to brush your teeth, honey. Nope, not brushing my teeth. Not brushing my teeth. I said, okay, let's get your clothes on. Got the clothes on, thinking she forgot about not brushing the teeth. I reapproached the brushing of the teeth. Nope, not brushing my teeth. I said, okay, I see the day I'm going to have today. I'm telling you, you get up, you don't know how your day's gonna turn out. So you gotta say when now, you know? Yeah. So after all the struggling and the woo and the please and oh baby, we gotta do this, and she didn't brush her teeth, fine. Is she gonna die because she didn't brush her teeth? No. So her choice was not to brush her teeth. I told her I was brushing my teeth, right? So we got out of the house. Finally, we get through the door, drive off. Babysitter didn't show up. So when we get there, the babysitter came in. She's not staying with her. Nope, not going there. Nope, I'm going with you, mommy. And it's like, you cannot come. We're going to an event. You need to work with me. Nope, not going anywhere. I'm going with you. Started crying. It's like, is it going to kill me if she come? No. I get her in the car and I'm late. I'm so late. And I had to sit down and think, do we go or do we not go? Every street we drove down, there was construction. We had to take a different route. And this is how the day is just constantly going. And it's like half an hour. This is going to be 40 minutes late. We get to our location. Everybody's professional, set up, organized, and the show has begun.
Oh, dear.
I was so embarrassed. And I sat down and I said, Ann-Marie, say when now. Now is the time I'm going to step out of my shell. I'm going to go in there and I'm not going to be intimidated and I'm not going to feel embarrassed, and I'm going to make a presentation and an entrance. As soon as I get through the door, I walk back out. I was like, oh my gosh. It was in the motion. It was in movement. And it was so professionally organized. I had to make up my mind that moment. And I said, now. I said, when now? And as soon as I get in there, it was 2 or 3 people before me. And then the lady beside me looked at me when it was my turn. And I stepped out into that circle. And I said, okay, I'm embarrassed. Okay, I feel really bad. But I had to make a decision. I had to decide to show up, because you know what? This event was so important. It's all about you ladies, you young ladies that's coming up in the world. I had to represent. I had to show up. And I said, this is life. This is life. The most important thing is that you show up. When you show up, anything can take place. But when you don't show up, nothing happens. And you're still in the same position. You're not growing. You're feeling worse of a person. And you know what? Who cares what anyone else think? So this is all going in my mind. And this is what brought me to the table to say, I'm here. I'm here. Don't judge me. Because we learn, we grow, and we also, change and move on in life, constantly change and move on. So my message to the women is that don't worry about what other people are going to think. It took balls. It took everything in me to just walk in that room and look at all these people standing all around me. And I just stood out in the middle, right up in the middle, and say, I'm late. Okay? I gave them a little explanation that she decided she wasn't going to brush her teeth. And that's how the day started. Okay? So here I am. Appreciate me. Respect me and love me for showing up.
And I'm sure they did. I'm
and
sure
they
respected you and loved you.
They laughed. They loved the entrance. They loved the jokes. And the day continued moving on.
And the struggle of motherhood started right at the beginning of your speech.
But as I said to them, this is life. Just show up. Anything you want to do in life, just show up. Say when now. It's time to go back to school. It's time to make a change in your life. It's time to shine. It's time to plug that unique talent out, because you are so special. Every woman out there have a hidden talent. right? And if you can embrace that within you and don't worry, just don't worry about what anybody else want to think or say or criticize you for, because you know what? If you do, you're darn. If you don't, you're darn. If you do, you know, they're going to find something to say. If you don't, they're still going to find something to say. So what's important? What's important is how you feel within yourself. Is how you decide, you know what? They criticize me. I'm no different from you. Do I not care? Yeah, I do. That's why I continue to improve. I continue to learn. I continue to grow. And I find new ways. If I tried this for 10 and that's not working, I'll try this because you suggest it. Maybe this is for me, right? It doesn't hurt. Life is, to me, is like going into a shoe store. Have you ever gone into a shoe store looking for a pair of shoes? And you're out there searching, constantly searching. And every shoes you put on is like, nah, this one doesn't fit. Ooh, this one is too tight. This feels. And then you find that shoes that, yeah, this is my style. Well, that's what life is. You got to keep trying on the different pair of shoes till something fits, till you feel comfortable, till it just speaks to you, right?
Yep.
And it makes a statement, because that's how unique your life is. We got to keep trying on these shoes. We got to keep trying on our soul to direct us, and keep asking and keep learning, you know, just always embracing the changes, you know. I'm sure you've experienced something like that before.
Yes.
As a mother.
Oh, for sure. You
Right?
always have to take one step. You never know where you can go if you never take the first step. Mm-hmm. I know I had to take a first step to get out of a toxic relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's probably one of the hardest.
It was tough. I'd taken them about 15 times, and then you finally have to take the big one that says, okay, this time I'm not doing this again. Mm-hmm. And it was hard.
Right,
you know?
right.
I took a first step to remarry. You know, you take lots of big steps. There's so many firsts, but it's nice to know that there's people out there that are supportive, and S.W.I.M is an organization that's supportive, and we know of other agencies that are out there, and there are a number of different agencies for people, but you need to make the first step. If you never take it, you don't know what you're capable of, and we're all capable of something amazing. You just have to believe it,
and that you're not alone. You're not alone to okay, so that's about relationship, but what about school? I know so many people who have gone back to school who decide, you know, this is what I want to do, and they're excited, they get into the course, and it's like, oh, this is not really what I want to do. Then they take another course, and then they take another course. It's okay. Don't stop trying.
No.
You got to keep moving. You got to keep embracing. You got to keep that open-minded and that willingness to learn.
Even if you take one course and decide, you know what, this isn't really the direction I wanted, pat yourself on the back for getting up the gumption to go and take a course.
And showing up.
You showed up, you took it, you passed it. Now look into something different. You have to give yourself a congratulations to yourself for doing it. You can't shoot yourself down for picking something wrong. You have to build yourself up for doing it.
Right.
Because, you know, you may have been out of school for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years,
and
who
things
knows?
change.
And things change. Like when I took computers, they were massive. They took up a whole entire room. Now things take up, 5 inches on a desk space. When I was in computers, they took up rooms, you know? So there's so many things have changed, and maybe what you thought you enjoyed 20 years ago isn't what it used to be. But you give yourself the chance. Okay, maybe that's not the direction I like now, so I'll try something different. But you have to give yourself props for attempting it, for thinking about it, for challenging yourself, for trying.
Man, this is life. This is life. What happened yesterday, is gone. What are we going to do about tomorrow? What are we going to do in the next hour? You know, embrace yourself. Always keep yourself open and your mind open for new arrivals and new challenges and new excitement, because as long as we're here, we're always going to have these things that pushes us to, you know, come in our life to make us even better, a better person, because everything we go through in life is what creates who we are, right?
Well, even your car accident, you know, that's changed who you are, and it's gave you different challenges, but as you said at the beginning, it gave you something positive in the way it's made you slow down and look at things differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally differently.
Exactly. And that's when I realized, you know, I needed to say when now. Am I going to sit here, boo-hoo, poor me syndrome, or am I going to fight it, get up, and, you know, and show up? And I had to do that because it was in a time, it was a very challenging time. It was a sudden impact. There was no preparation for it. There was nothing like that. And that's what it is too. When you become moms and you get pregnant and you decide to have your child, it is a sudden impact of a life change, right? And we just have to learn how to embrace changes and, you know, just love ourselves for who we are and embrace ourselves and know that, you know, tomorrow is another day. And once you can wake up, things can change overnight. It takes overnight.
And moms need to stop comparing themselves and their children to other moms and other children. I find that more and more nowadays than when I had my children. More and more young moms are comparing themselves and their children with other moms and children. Well,
And
their
yeah.
child is smarter. Well, their child talks at this
Why
age and does
my kid
this.
behave like this?
Yes.
You know?
And you need to stop doing that. Your child is your
Unique.
child and they're all unique. And just because, you know, the little one next door talked sooner doesn't mean that they're smarter. It doesn't mean anything. And just because you're having a bad day today and, you know, the neighbor down the street is always got her makeup on and her hair is always done and she looks like she has it all together, doesn't mean anything. Does not mean you don't know. She may get up 3 hours before you to do her hair and makeup, but when she goes home, she's a wreck and she cries 3 times more than you. You don't know.
Exactly.
Every parenthood comes with a challenge and every child is unique. So don't compare, just enjoy being a parent and enjoy
the
your
moment.
child at every stage.
Yeah.
As challenging as it is,
Yeah.
you'll get through it and so will they.
Oh, yeah. 24/7. This is the time to say when now. This is a time that you're going to embrace yourself so you can embrace your children and your children can embrace you, because we're a walking example for them. They watch everything we do. As you said earlier, you know, April, about, you know, your daughter and the chores, the simplest things like the chores. And it's something she's experienced because that's what she watched you do as a mom. You know, the boys had chores, she had chores, and so forth. So let's go back to some of the sweet old days and the old things we used to do. We're here to remind you and to bring you back a little step, you know, backwards of slow down, give the kids some chores, let them be part of your team, create your team, look for people that's not doing the same thing as you to become part of your team, because they will embrace you, they will encourage you, they will be your cheerleaders. Don't take it on your own. You're not alone. Everyone has someone that they, you know, respect and look out and look forward to. Ooh, it's a tongue twister. So check us out. Single Women in Motherhood Training Program, 296 Horton Street, London, Ontario. We provide support, all kinds of programs to support single moms. One of our programs is called Let's Talk About It. Come on out. Let's talk together. Let's share our journey. Sometimes we think we're going through the worst and our time is, you know, is never going to get better. But when you check it out, others are going through worse. That's our Let's Talk About It. We have the Golden Connection PAL program. We have the Community Agent program. We have the Child Care Exchange program and the Little Fish program. Call us 519-432 for more information. We are at 296 Horton Street, Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Book an appointment. Shout us out. Look us up. London's Got Talent. The next audition date is September the 22nd. 4:30 to 9:30 at the Sprit Theater, Covent Garden Market. September the 23rd, 1 to 5 at the S.W.I.M office. And www.Single Women in Motherhood Training Program. You can get more information there. 12 talented performers will be selected to compete and perform in front of a live audience and celebrity judge October the 20th, 2017 at the Wolf Performance Hall. The lucky winner will receive $1,000 cash prize. All proceeds will go to benefit the S.W.I.M and SMART Scholarship and support the single mothers in the London area. All ages are welcome to audition. Any style, bring yourself and your unique talent. I will be speaking in Toronto at the Mo Monday, August the 28th. Doors open at 5:30 to 9. The Supermarket, 268 Augusta Avenue. Come on out and support me. Tune in. Check us out at www.gofundme.com/singlewomeninmotherhood.com. Shout out to Apex Radio for supporting the show and having us. We thank you, and we are looking forward for you to tune in every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. And the show repeats on Friday 4 to 5. Find us on Facebook, Apex Radio, by hitting the Use app, and it will take you all to the shows. Remember to like, follow, and comment. Single Women in Motherhood Training Program, www.singlewomeninmotherhood.com, 519-432-5454. Shout out to all the single mothers out there. We're proud of you. Keep up the good work. Don't let anyone tell you who you are, or do not let anyone direct your future path. See you.
You're listening to Apex Radio.
Live from London, Ontario to the world, you're listening to Apex Radio.